guys, and welcome to Petrol and welcome to this week's Midweek 180, brought to you from inside a Polestar 2 on an Instavolt rapid charger somewhere in Swindon. I'm actually on my way back from Wales and I needed to have a midway stop to get some charge in the car, and I thought I would take the opportunity while I'm waiting for more electrons to filter into the batteries to bring you the Midweek 180. Now, if you've not seen one of these before, this is my midweek update where I bring you my news, views and information about upcoming reviews, all filmed in one take. I'm going to put 180 seconds in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and that's it. A very simple format. But before we get going, last week I asked the question about whether or not I should continue the Midweek 180 as is, as I've done for the last 4 years, or whether I should move it to maybe every other week and drop a proper video on a Wednesday. I'm still undecided. The jury's out in terms of what you guys think. It was pretty much 50-50. I had some wonderful comments, by the way, and very, very supportive. So it was quite heartwarming to read through those. Loads of you love the Midweek 180, but people are like, it's up to you, Ped. If you've got some cool content, then whatever feels right to you. I just think I'm going to miss this interaction I get with you guys each week. So I think for now I'll probably carry on as is and see how it goes. And having a big bank of content that's in the to-edit file is never a bad thing for a YouTuber. So I think I'll probably carry on with that. But anyway, time for this week's Midweek 180. I shall get cracking. I shall start my timer because this is actually quite a rapid charger, so I shouldn't be on here very long. I don't need a full charge. 20 minutes should do, just enough time. So let me start my timer. Okay, leader of the pack last week was Ben Higginson. Congratulations, sir. Joined in the Magnificent 7 by Francois G, Mark C, Mad Paddy and Tango S. That's one person. Michael Kember, Paul Mead and Gina F56 Cooper S. So whoever puts the first comment this week, you'll be my leader of the pack next week, and the first 7 comments, you will be in my Magnificent 7. Where are you and what you're doing? Well, that was Rose B, who was in a Pitlochry hotel after having spent the morning driving around the Cairngorms, off-roading, and the afternoon driving around the Cairngorms. A good old driving tour. So wherever you are right now and whatever you're doing, put it in the comments below and I'll give you a shout out next week. Last week's question was about really good motoring related red letter days or experience days. I forgot to mention the Palmer Sport days, which are always good. Now they are very, very expensive, but worth every penny if you can stretch your budget that far. This week's question, I just want to know what you listen to in the car. Is it the radio? Is it music on an iPod? I've really got into listening to podcasts recently. Sam Moore's Car Chat podcast, I've pretty much done all of his. I've binged through all of those, and I'm now going to other motoring related podcasts. I would love to know what you're thinking. Don't forget, if you are looking for a podcast, Cycle Sunday podcast is a good listen. Now then, F1 news. There was no F1 race last week, but F1 is off to Paul Ricard in France this week. I'm really looking forward to the race. It should be a good one. Clearly there was a race cancelled last week. And I don't know if you noticed, McLaren this week have also announced that they're going to be doing ExtremeE next year, which I think is very, very exciting. Now, the car announcement I want to talk about this week is JLR have announced that they are going to be putting a hydrogen fuel cell Defender prototype into testing later this year, and I think that's really, really exciting. The industry forecast, by the way, hydrogen fuel cell cars to be 10 million vehicles by 2030, and this is all part of this JLR strategy where it's called the Reimagine strategy. So they're going to be an all-electric car brand from 2025. Now Jaguar have said that. Land Rover are bringing in a range. I think they've got 6 pure electric variants to come into Land Rover, into the SUV brand by the end of the decade. But 2024 is when we're going to see the first one of those. So I think the whole hydrogen fuel cell thing, really interesting. I would love to know where you think that hydrogen fuel cell sits in the mix of what we're going to get with cars going forward. Pure EVs, fuel cell cars, synthetic fuels, and so on. This week I'm obviously driving the Polestar 2, and that will be this Friday's video. But also, if you are tuning into the Cycle Sunday podcast, we're keeping that going. I had a brilliant weekend last week. Paul from Criterium Cycles came down and delivered Mrs. Petrolbed her new e-bike, and I might have got a new bike as well. But that's tune into the podcast. More stuff coming to the Proper Cycle Sunday Series 2 when that returns to the channel. But that, my dear peddlers, is that. Now, I've just noticed my timer hasn't gone because my phone is actually Bluetoothed to the car. But this Friday's video, the Friday feature at 6 o'clock, will be this Polestar 2 all-electric car. Very, very impressive. But the really cool thing about this review, I've documented my week living with the car, and I've had a pretty good experience this week, to be fair. But the really cool thing is I've also got to take one of these on track, and it's the first time I've ever driven an EV on track, and it was very, very impressive. But anyway, I shall leave it at that. I think the lady in the Nissan Leaf next door, she's come from Mid Wales as well, actually. It's quite amusing. We're both in Swindon on an Instavolt rapid charger. But tune in on Friday at 6 for this, the Polestar 2. My best EV experience yet. Many of the frustrations I've experienced in recent EV reviews, I haven't really had them with this car. It's not been perfect, but it's much, much better. It's a good one.